In quadratic functions in factored form. So I know we went over this, but let's just look at this. All right, so first, when you guys take a look at this, here's your guys' a value. So your a value is greater than 0. That means it will be a happy face. So that means it's going to open up. And if you guys notice right here, that is a low point, which means you guys are going to have a minimum at your vertex. Okay, to find your guys' x-intercepts, you set y equal to 0. And then you guys solve. So 0 equals 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 1. Now, we'll use zero product rule. So remember, 0 has to either equal x plus 3 or 0 has to equal x plus or x minus 1. Solve for x. So negative 3 equals x, or 1 is equal to x. So your guys' x-intercepts are going to be negative 3 comma 0 or 1 comma 0. So let's go ahead and plot that. Negative 3 comma 0. Remember, those are your x-intercepts. And since it's called an x-intercepts, that means it's going to intercept the x-axis. So negative 3 comma 0 is right there. And 1 comma 0 is right there. Okay, axis of symmetry. Now, to find your guys' axis of symmetry, or the x-coordinate of the vertex, x is equal to r1 plus r2 over 2. Your guys' root 1 and root 2 is negative 3 and 1. So negative 3 plus 1 all divided by 2. That's going to give us negative 1. Because negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2, negative 1. So axis of symmetry is negative 1, and that means your guys' x-coordinate of your vertex is negative 1. Now, to find your guys' y-coordinate of the vertex, plug in negative 1 into the equation, your original. So y is equal to 2 times negative 1 plus 3 times negative 1 minus 1. This is going to equal to 2 times 2 times negative 2, which is negative 8. So your guys' vertex is going to be negative 1 comma negative 8, which is right here. There's your guys' curve. And your domain is, or sorry, your axis of symmetry is that x is equal to negative 1. Alright, your guys' domain. It's a set of all x values, which means how far left of this graph going, negative infinity, to how far right, positive infinity. Range, how low is this graph going? All the way to here, which is negative 8. So bracket, negative 8 to infinity. How low to how high? So that's number 1. Here's number 2, you guys. So your a value is less than 0. Do you guys see this? It's negative a half. So since it's less than 0, that means it's going to be a sad face. Your parabola opens down, and that means you'll have a maximum. Okay, x-intercepts. So set y equal to 0 to find your x-intercepts. 0 is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 4, x minus 8. So 0 is going to equal to x minus 4, or 0 is going to equal to x minus 8. So x is going to equal to 4, or x is going to equal to 8. So your guys' x-intercepts are 4 comma 0 and 8 comma 0. So let's go ahead and plot that. 4 comma 0 and 8 comma 0. Alright, axis of symmetry. X is going to equal to r1 plus r2 all divided by 2. our roots are 4 and 8. So 4 plus 8 all divided by 2. That's going to be 12 over 2, which is 6. So x is going to equal to 6. And that's also the x coordinate of the vertex. Now to find your y value, plug in x is equal to 6 into the original equation. So y is equal to negative 1/2, 6 minus 4, and 6 minus 8. Negative 1/2 times 2 times negative 2, which is 2. So 6 comma 2. So let's plot that, and then let's graph. Don't forget your guys' axis of symmetry, which is a vertical line at 6. And there we go. Domain, this is going forever to the left, so it's going to be negative infinity, and right. And how far right is it going? Forever to the right, so positive infinity. Range, how low is this graph going? All the way to negative infinity. How high? All the way up to 2, bracket. Okay. Alright, so for 3. So first we have to factor this to get it into factored form. So y is going to equal to 3x out of x plus 4. Divide both by 3, right? And we divided both by x to get 3x times x plus 4. Alright, so this a value right here, a is greater than 0, which means it opens up, happy face, so opens up, and that means you have a vertex as a minimum. Okay, y-intercept. So your guys' y-intercept is when you set x equal to 0. So you guys could plug it into the factored form, or you guys could just plug it into the original. I'll just plug it into the original, so y is equal to 3, 0 squared, plus 12 times 0, which is simply just 0. So the y-intercept is 0, 0, and we'll just plot 0, 0. Okay, so in order to find axis of symmetry, you guys, we have to find our roots. So let's set y is equal to 0 to find our roots. 0 equals 3x times x plus 4. So we either have 0 equals 3x or 0 is equal to x plus 4. Solve for x, so x is going to equal to 0, or subtract 4 by both, x is going to equal to negative 4. So our roots are 0, 0, or negative 4, 0. Now to find the axis of symmetry, right? X is equal to r1 plus r2, all divided by 2. 0 plus negative 4 divided by 2, which is simply negative 2. So axis of symmetry is negative 2. And the vertex is also the x coordinate of the vertex, negative 2. Now let's solve for our y value of the vertex by plugging it in. So y is equal to, I'll just do the original, 3 times negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2. 3 times 4 minus 24. 12 minus 24, negative 12. So your vertex is going to be at negative 2, negative 12. Right there, and might as well plot our roots, which were at 0, 0, and negative 4, 0. Let's get our axis of symmetry, which is also at x is equal to negative 2. And let's graph. There's your guys' graph. Domain, how far left is this going? Negative infinity. How far right? Positive infinity. Range, how low is this graph? All the way at negative 12 to how high this graph goes? Positive infinity. Alright, number 4. Factor, so y is equal to negative 12 and 4. Two things that multiply negative 12, but add together it's 4, 6, and negative 2. X plus 6, x minus 2. Alright, so your a value, well, your a value right here, you guys, there's a 1 there. So a is definitely bigger than 0, which means it opens up. So it's a minimum. Y-intercept, so let's plug in set x equal to 0 to find our y-intercept. So y is equal to 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 12, which is simply just negative 12. So 0 comma negative 12 is your y-intercept. I'm just going to plot that. Alright, axis symmetry. So we have to find our roots first. So to find your roots, set y equal to 0. 0 is equal to x plus 6 and x minus 2. So 0 equals x plus 6 or 0 equals x minus 2, which is simply just x is equal to negative 6 or x is equal to 2. So negative 6 comma 0, 2 comma 0 is our root, so we're going to plot that. So axis symmetry, you guys, it's x is equal to r1 plus r2 all divided by 2, which is negative 6 plus 2 over 2, which is negative 2. So axis symmetry is at negative 2. Now let's find our y coordinate of our vertex by plugging in negative 2 into the original equation. Negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 12. 4 minus 8 minus 12, which is equal to negative 16. So negative 2 comma negative 16. Right there. Here's our axis of symmetry, which is that x is equal to negative 2. And we make our graph. Domain, negative infinity to infinity. Range, how low does this graph go? All the way down to negative 16 to how high? Infinity. Alright, here's number 5. Alright, y-intercept, set x equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 0 minus 4, 0 plus 4, which is negative of negative 4 times 4, which is 16. So 0 comma 16 is our y-intercept, which is right there. Alright, axis of symmetry. So we gotta find our roots. So set y equal to 0. 0 equals negative x minus 4, x plus 4. So 0 is going to equal to x minus 4, or 0 is going to equal to x plus 4. So x is going to equal to 4, or x is going to equal to negative 4. So 4 comma 0, negative 4 comma 0 is our roots. So that's our roots, or x-intercepts. So now let's find our axis symmetry. X is equal to r1 plus r2 all divided by 2, which is 4 plus negative 4 divided by 2, which is simply just 0. So our axis symmetry is 0. That means your guys' x coordinate of the vertex is 0. And that means that to find our y value, just plug in 0 into the original, which we already did, right? So 0, plug it into the original. And we already knew this from finding our y-intercept, which is going to be 16. So 0 comma 16 is our vertex. Let's plot down your guys' axis symmetry at the line of x is equal to 0, and we graph. And there's your guys' curve. Alright, 6. Okay, so for 6, this was an interesting one. So first, y-intercept, set x is equal to 0 and solve. Y is equal to 0 minus 3 to the second, which is negative 3 to the second, which is 9. So 0 comma 9 is going to be our y-intercept. Now let's find the axis of symmetry. So we gotta find our root, so let's set y equal to 0. 0 equals x minus 3 to the second. So in other words, 0 can only equal 0 equals x minus 3 squared, you guys. That's just saying x minus 3 twice. So then 0 equals just x minus 3. So x is just equal to 3. So our only root is going to be at 3 comma 0. So to find the axis of symmetry, well, we have two roots at x is equal to 3. So that means x equals r1 plus r2 divided by 2. 3 plus 3 all over 2, which is simply just 3. And then axis symmetry is at 3. That means your guys' vertex for the y-coordinate is, we just plug in 3 into there. So y is equal to 3 minus 3 squared, which is 0 squared, which is a 0. So there's your guys' vertex at 3, 0. Alright, so here's your guys' axis of symmetry. Now remember, the axis of symmetry, you guys, serves as a mirror. So if there is this one right here, then on the other side of this line, there should also be one at there. So from here, 1, 2, 3 away. So on the other side should be 1, 2, 3 away. So right here. And then there's your guys' graph. A little tricky, but something that you guys should just know overall. Right? So there it is, you guys.